When it holds up, prepare to say it's sided together with me. Now, with regards to now, if you were prepared to see how Drake has demonstrated his rage as a loser, has lately emerged and all the time at the same time. Well beyond being the he has sown, was stooped, that low, so do tone hudush other to other person. It became so pitiful that people now like Kayat's freestyling live and disparaging him in a manner that he is most likely afraid. Abo disparage of .ut. Remember to leave a like and subscribe. As we are now, we are about to see Drake's change civilizations once more. And he's just kept going downhill in some of the most pitiful and hilarious ways we have never ever observed. Please be sure to go. Those preferences for the cupcake as of right now. Karen, we've reached a stage where it appears similar to how the entire space-time continuum has changed, such that, once in a while, Drake gained notoriety as an actor before becoming such a farce that he is actually most famous for simply being a clown on the internet, and concurrently with Kayat being performing freestyles while seated next to actual MCs, such as Top Dog's Rayvon. In the process, amusement and simply representing and furthering hip-hop more than he has. For performing has. I'm not sure. It simply feels as though the roles are being switched, and Kai is more of a rapper than Drake is. This is probably not saying much when you consider Drake's character. However, we shall return to this later. Due to the fact that we must move all of sincerely. Our efforts are for Drake. Among the most pitiful things we've ever seen observed, but also among the most viral. Drake has now become Saju Beckham so messed up and humiliated that when Supapak was putting on the clown by heading to his closed outfit, that he intended to return in out this time. Well, it seems like he examined each and every outfit and civilization. Civilizations he might try and rely on to appease in order to feel a little depressed approval from anybody who is prepared to a low civilizational. Drake too, come close to them. Additionally, when Willow reviewed the list to make sure Drake isn't more twatocent, have him to return to the six, since he's docenti Hava's been booted and they don't want him. They recently made his Wisteri out of Atlanta. For now, the clown outfit is not useful, considering all of the drama they're experiencing going on near on. He is obviously unable to return to any locations such as Los Angeles or any other hip-hop is on, other place where avert. Well, with Drake and all of this being driven from almost every location in Europe, other place where, on his mess washed by some lazy people, PMAZ, waspiopal surfernsin, for your trip with fictitious audiences, piopal soddens, and thodiences, the booing was indeed rather loud. Drake is truly losing his mind, and he is attempting to imitate an another culture and Oktoberfestanford event in a manner that we have never saw. Oktoberfestansobom attempt scene. This sadly. As you can really see, Drake receives a personalized Chanel ensemble for his ensemble. He's attempting to stand out at the Oktoberfest. In this, I am aware that you are Drake, and I suppose you have strange connections. That you do. Nonetheless, you still had to invest a great deal of money and energy into obtaining anything similar to this, instead of something that anyone could typically wear. Furthermore, I actually know Drake. Beware.Drake believes that he is October's own. But when this Drake, this is how you appear. This, I don't even understand what to say. The man appears to be the performing the Shrek roar meme. Let's be actual. Additionally, Drake appears to be performing to cosplay at this place. It's like he has only ever done in those locations, where his greatest desire has been to take from. Really though, when you see over the course of several years, Drake traveled from writing an 8 o'clock a.m. place M, song M. in Germany, Charlotte was plastered. What I must admit, Tadmit isn't viewing this content of Drake attending the Oktoberfest. Admit he's Oktoberfest. He and every Oktoberfest. Every OVO loser is unsure about how to behave in such a situation while also attempting to imitate their culture. Yet failing, Trevi failing, Tuli copy failing, tokopying their way of life and pretending to be at a club. Because I disregard your words when you see these men loitering. It just demonstrates that they would be among the worst individuals to spend time with. I mean, actually, copy actually. When you look at everything and see Drake and all of Ova's stuff losers continue to sink farther and deeper. And let's just say it, into the night. Such losers, such like this, plus the additional material that was emerging. And it's visible through Drake's eyes, such shows us how screwed up this guy is. And Kendrick Lamar's recent poor performance made him resemble a walking letter L for Drake. In particular, this is simply so shows. So it's funny because right now, so now, and even considering the way the internet is responding now, to and despite everything that is occurring, no one had even given this man some serious thought. No longer. Additionally, his whole perspective and standing has the speed of Havian so damaged and unfairly saw Thavisko Wudot. He had just arrived at new heights as far as being the highest scoring player in history in the Lames Legion. Furthermore, Drake is seen moving in this manner, a mana and attempting to have fun. But you are aware that he's Manar Andas, posting this everywhere on social media sites to attempt to communicate some kind of a strange message amid everything. I mean, you're not being taken seriously by anyone. No longer. And you've reached the stage where for having this appearance, you are merely going to be referred to as a fool. In actuality, with the amount of humor you possess, you create someone like Dury. Race you Dury. You emble Denzel Washington in the way that you drewy. You don't get much respect from all over. Because whatever you would want to add Theoadizat when you watch Drake's posture, add is posture. Such as his posture, as his manner, and his friends receive there. These objects are being displayed by cameras on social media to make an impression imprians. All of them. I suppose impression suppose? Come on, I mean. Youth oppose not doing these things, due to their desire for a pure, good time. But the reason is that equal thought for and every forethought for own of him, content is the thing. Additionally, one of Drake's actions are more than Hethan Thon they seem. Why seem? He is always attempting to demonstrate that he is enjoyable, and he has the ability to influence others, that he is genuinely attempting to enter more and more. I suppose he's also only making an effort to seem to be enjoying himself on this tour, which we have ridiculed him for essentially being on for now. For the full year. And regarding this tour, I firmly believe when we witness Drake's insanity going through at the moment, as we are regarding Gare, area aware that Drake is stranded on the road. He is most likely tired of being placed into an agreement where he previously believed he was the guy for it. But he's trapped now, performing at Stadia in locations where he never desired to return to. Okay? When Yan Yu just said it that way. Yahweh. Perhaps this is his reason for attending Oktoberfest? Which this is merely for the sake of forgetting. Oktoberfesting about all of the events that have occurred and continue forgetting about Con2 to occur, as well as all of the L's, which we look. I suppose I can't hold him responsible for NGS from that angle? Really, this is a man's face. His career has completely collapsed. And when Drake is only attempting to forget regarding all that has occurred, to state the occurred. Least saint at times such as this with his strange OVO friends. Well, I suppose to provide I provided Drake with something. He most likely did enjoy a more enjoyable evening than normal. Since during an actual Oktoberfest since Oktoberfest. I'm certain, unlike Oktoberfest since Lycus, they didn't play. Additionally, it wasn't due to Drake, unlike Endovas whoever was doing it had to be forced not to listen to the music. Additionally, for Hoover when we see this and see Drake, Han has even turned into one of the ultra panderers, allowing these ladies to lead him out off how to various programs. which just examine this. Actually, what we're witnessing is that each of these losses has really made Drake furious. Furthermore, I'm not even sure whether he is aware of it or not, or whether he is simply attempting to get deeper and farther as he is powerless to overcome own inclination. However, he has never made a larger mockery out of himself. Consequently, here. And now, with relation to joking, okay, while the following news that is about to be released afterward. This will only result in worse for the cupcake and display Drake's brand. Which of our comrade, which has recently suffered greatly. However, before discussing it in the soon talking about Drake. Being depressed and his brand suffering despite not having any hits. We have managed to a momento capturate in Drake's decline where things to capturatings have deteriorated to the point where Drake hasn't just become a cultural cosplayer's things cultural cosplayer. They are worse than us, never observed. How cultural cosplayer? They'd have never been ever. He's also simply displaying indications of a Hall of Fame. Levelnend have never been level out more severely than before. Regarding the cupcake, Karen, he's backup cake. He's Notame Snowton vendor on Etsy or anything like. Do a like that dot to the fact that Drake has posted such as this, and you are indeed witnessing this, correct? Like that dot, correct? This dude is around 40 years old, correct? Old donning a CLB hat. Old hat. And he donned this, this own his social media profile so that everyone can look. This on look. Thus, once more, this isn't a real, he is in gag. Engagement in, but he is fishing for engagement attention. I must state, however, for Drake, whatever it is that Karen taught him, Karen Max, this is very sincere. Hashem, sincere and pounding. Furthermore, there is no other way to perceive all of this, to place it. However, the cupcake has recently over-censor and recently be ended. Additionally, this man has truly simply degraded himself and demonstrated his status as Therasonly Ben, weirdest and greatest loser. You possibly never thought of. Okay, when you see everything is falling into place for him and indeed what was previously thought of in the business. A music conglomerate, everything in it is in a state of ruin and rubbish. However, when you observe Drake appearing to react to a wennel of the heat and pressure he has been obtaining by actions such as these, Yulu, just question yourself. Do you even possess even the smallest feeling of urgency to only slightly improve the situation? However, we are aware of the solution to that, which is clearly untrue. As if not, you wouldn't be performing. First of all, something like this. Additionally, between these two, there's performing. Already enough Drake humor to last us for the remainder of the year. Due to this is indeed a heinous crime. We are not yet finished, since discussing Drake is turning into the greatest joke ever. Now, what we have seen between enjoying Oktoberfest too much and actually become Toktoberfestakong. Super Max after Drake. Karen is dating Kizanad. Called him out and made fun of him for his response to the third episode of Iceman, since he disliked the garbage segment as much as Thebe coming others. Didn't? Although Kizanat has, nonetheless, carried on streaming and performing his thing. And Drake isn't remembering that he is the worst door of all for a rapper. Moment, and all he's doing is attempting to drown his Kai, is grieving over whatever this is. Spending a lot more time on something that is even somewhat similar to hip-hop than Drake. Haha's done in a long time. As with Waith has been doing, Kai has been wearing the Gabe P's radar freestyles during his streams. I have to give him credit for it. Up there, he has had a lot of different MCs simply performing and allowing them to display their poetic abilities to his large audience. And after that, well, between watching some very talented MCs like streams, Ravan was present from TDE. Additionally, we witnessed Kai Zenat rapping himself. Then remove a few bars. Additionally, with this in you and Thane in mind, you heard how little in a freestyle he was very skilled at rapping. You're rapping. There was one a rapping. One thing he either practiced an apprentice or his brain, or that he was aware of his desire to thracticide a dote, was pointing out Drake with "this is a reference to certain gaga." See, now that you have this, when you notice that Kai-san, more than anybody else, has defended put this small disc in his direction. Drake never has cupcake Edio dough, cupcake cooked worse. And I believe I'm speaking for everyone when I say a cupcake is aware that indeed the cupcake Karen has been quite humiliating. That you genuinely believe that if Drake made the decision to interact with these few bars he received from Kayet. I'm referring to, at the very least, Kai may have opportunito give Drake another L's jacket and resume. However, going beyond that, when an opportunity you really witness Kai stepping in Dwenin, toop these bars from the booth and make lighting too light of Jimmy Brooks and remove the Degrassi line, which you are all familiar with what it refers to and what it indicates light, that I believe Kai has learnt of several lot fromal individuals' publications. Additionally, he is attempting to deliver a sneak disc to Drake, which will get to him and the other person who is listening. But he's not interested in two product lot from producing something that will make this massive show that went viral. Because when we actually dissect this little jab, he's displaying the October, whatever we're even calling him, fest man producing man, the fact fan. Fact is it, he is now someone lyrical fact is lyrically who can be screwed up. Deglyricalip to Ari. Even from someone who is just a streamer. And as soon as you hear up to a here, I mean, the man has no flow when he raps. It lacked any kind of pocket or rhythm. Here, rhythm. However, he still has a superior bar. More than Drake's statements competitively within a year or so. As at ultimately, Kai hasn't shed a tear and submitted documents like a chronic loser. Additionally, simply with this and this whole circumstance, what I must say at this time is until Drake completes his tour rhythm.tour. And all thoughter, although he's acting strangely, Health Al will ultimately return the touch home and will observe how he chooses to leave the disaster that he has only been producing and excavating more and more ever since he started traveling. It will be instructive to observe how currently that Drake and the Iceman era are upon us seemed toe. He seemed to be obsessed with placing all of his attempts to refrain from disparaging others as directly as Kendrick Lamar. Yet these other performers without the lyrics, his lyrical ability, lyrical make him look like a Kendrick or a shove that a Heedy used to do. Okay? As we are already aware, Hedrick and Kai have not been getting along. And we are aware that Drake has been making an effort to accommodate other broadcasters and sort of, not only in the Aiden Rosses, but sneak him of We Feth Globe. But now with names as well while I demonstrate speed. Observing this, it doth do zos. It make you question if Drake will thus be providing DeMar DeRozan with Kaizanid's treatment by LeBron James extremely. Soon, which once more I believe for Drake Thwitch. Drake, Inc. This matchup is superior to he could T. Drake, E. to King Ike. Aim at any rapper because, well, him taking? Well, have a look at our current location. However, honestly, if this is the route he decides to continue and honestly continue, and this is what he's attempting to absorb himself, I disregard how you choose to phrase it or how if you would want to put it. It will be pitiful since streamers are already there, being sufficiently at ease and reflecting because there's such a joke and you're even uttering such statements. I intend to get made fun of by Kaisen. Kaisen, this is simply Karen, the cupcake, having yet another low point. However, I'll state it once again, as we are at one instance, Drake dressed himself as the Shrek person. More noise is coming from the Shrek person and obtaining more news than simply the song. He decreased only a couple of days prior to now. Additionally, if we simply glance at the music and the real-life events, we see that people who participate in hip-hop more, like Kendrick Lamar, become widely popular for almost everything they do when they're performing. And no one, unless it's a discussion regarding Drake's tour, fails, as the performances are simply so Those that are uninteresting don't even wish to exhibit more clips. Once more, it makes one comprehend the reason Drake is donning one of the worst record covers on his skull. As if he is pursuing the goal of becoming the best Karen forever. Consequently, when we simply observe that this is the person he wants, frankly, I'm at a loss for words. However, if he is, this is where we are going. Attempting to totally commit to this, you know what I mean when I say that influencer thing. I must tell Drake this, and it could startle a few of you. Continue, because what we are witnessing is not the only. Nothing is funnier than the cupcake. Everyone can see that he is a joke. However, in addition, I must state that he does appear to be obviously superior at getting ready for the Oktoberfest stand, appearing more of a loser than you've ever been attempting to get on the mic and be tough. Furthermore, you should watch this now because, in all honesty, if you falling out in such a prominent place is getting more attention than a song that you just published, then you actually do need to consider your kind of work. In having stated all of this, tell me, what are your thoughts on Drake's most recent fallouts and his embarrassing himself? Additionally, what do you consider about how Kaizenot could be placing him in this position and demonstrating that he could possibly rap against him? I'm eager to hear what you have to say now. To discuss all of this, and now, if you are at this stage of the video, you understand what to do. Don't forget to hit like and sign up. Additionally, if you'd want to help the channel, you can also turn into a member as of right now. It truly does signify much to me. Additionally, I must note that if you have helped me out in any kind, it just means a lot, and you have my sincere gratitude for that. Moreover, if you'd want to see how well, prior to this, I had a lot of my feelings towards Kendrick Lamar alerting us to some really telling issues that have been influencing the whole musical landscape and other items. Furthermore, there was a lot to discuss. I had no idea how else to state this. As there are a lot of people who are sensitive yet don't want to hear you will receive criticism. Well, this is a significant one, and that will be crucial. See why I have to say it? If you want something such as this, look at the recommended video.